We're conveniently located just 8 miles from the center of Charlotte, 7 miles from the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and just 1 mile from Belmont Abbey College. Book your stay by visiting Hampton.com or by calling 704-825-6100. Again, that's Hampton.com or calling 704-825-6100. Feel the Hamptonality at the preferred hotel for Crusaders Athletics, the Hampton in Charlotte Belmont at Moncross.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours, without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improved.
Just off the 485 loop, minutes from Center City, is a place where the golf is thrilling and the food is a treat for the palate. Pine Island Country Club. Matt Zavanet and his staff have created a golfing and social experience that is unique to the Charlotte Metro. The golf course is one of the best conditioned, aesthetically pleasing courses in the region. The knowledgeable and friendly staff are on the ready to help you play and look your best. The club pool offers a chance to spend the day with family, enjoying the warmth of summer and laughter with friends. Crusaders Athletics on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network is brought to you by Pine Island Country Club, Domino's, Moss Realty, the Hampton Inn by Hilton at Moncross, and Ortho Carolina. You improve. We take you now to the www.abbeyathletics.com broadcast booth. It's time to raise the red on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. And good afternoon. We welcome you to the Wheeler Center inside the campus of Belmont Abbey College here in Belmont, North Carolina. Brian Rushing here with you this afternoon for a little matinee volleyball action on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network as the Crusaders will be taking on the Lees-McRae Bobcats. Crusaders wrapping up their homestand here this afternoon against the Bobcats, looking for their first win of the season, their first conference win. Lees-McRae likewise looking for their first conference win, as they have started the year 2-4 in the regular season. Let's go ahead and take a look briefly at the starting lineups. First for the Crusaders, Brennan Boehner in the middle, along with Aaron Durkees. On the outside, Robert Nixon, along with Liam Maxwell. Playing the opposite side this afternoon is Gavin Schaefer. The setter is Bryce Sullivan. The liberos, David Ratajewski, as the Crusaders will begin first with service, wearing the white jerseys with the gray shorts, the slate gray shorts. They'll go from right to left in set one. For Lees-McRae, the ball set by Fund. Fund gets it over to Diekman. The swing covered by the Crusaders. Maxwell digs it out once again. The Crusaders will have to serve it from beyond the 10-foot line out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Bobcats. Taking a look at Lees-McRae on the outside, Mark Shaka and John Sobel will be on the outsides as Rito Fund, the setter, back to serve for the Bobcats. We'll go through the rest of the Bobcats lineup here in just a moment as Brennan Boehner is going to get the kill as he took it off the body of Fund. It's even at one apiece. Up the middle, you've got Wes Rogman on the floor. The opposite hitter is Carl Diekman. The middle blocker, Hector Serviat. And then, of course, the setter is Fund. The libero is Keenan Freitas. The swing on the outside, blocked by Robert Nixon over the head of a Crusaders player, making it 2-1 in favor of Lees-McRae as Mark Shaka back to serve for the Bobcats. Running a little double duty today, had to do the opening public address announcements and everything, which is why there was not a pregame show. As the ball is served long, the score even at 2-2 with Brennan Boehner back to serve. but I'm here in my usual perch inside the Wheeler Center. So glad that you could join us this afternoon for exciting men's volleyball action in Conference Carolinas. Boehner serves it over to Freitas. That's a block for Aaron Durkes as he went mano-a-mano with Diekman. Diekman gets blocked by Durkes. The Crusaders have the lead at 3-2. Brennan Boehner, one of the offensive leaders for this club, third on the team with 23 kills on the season. It's the inside-outs that serve. The swing here on the near side, and that's going to be covered once more for the Crusaders. This time it's Robert Nixon, RD, getting the block and getting the Crusaders out to the 4-2 advantage here in the early going from the Wheeler Center. Boehner will toss it high from the middle. Hits a change-up to Freitas. The swing on the outside covered. That's going to go out of bounds. Point goes to the Crusaders. They've got the quick 5-2 lead. That swing taken by John Sobel, the outside hitter, a 6'5 senior out of Holbrook, New York. Boehner with a little bit of a run here. We'll get it over to Freitas. That pass a little tight, and RD is going to get the kill as he basically timed it perfectly, getting it as high as he possibly could on the tape line. He gets the kill. The Crusaders are off and running with a 6-2 advantage. Boehner sends a firm one over to Freitas. Back to the outside. Sobel will cut it into the antenna, and the Crusaders have put together a nice little run of 6 straight. They lead 7-2 here in the opening stanza. Brennan Boehner tied for the team lead with Liam Maxwell with 3 service aces on the year, as Sobel will get that ball. It's blocked over by Durkes, not able to keep it in bounds. It's the point for the Bobcats. Cuts the runoff. They stop the bleeding. They trail 7-3. It's back to serve will be Carl Diekman, the 6'6 freshman out of Naperville, Illinois. Nixon. Maxwell takes the inside out swing from behind the 10-foot line. Can't get it to go. It's 7-4 in favor of the Abbey. A doubleheader of action this evening on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network as Newberry comes into town and takes on the wrestling team. That'll be a 7:30 start. Diekman with the joust, the point. It's a plain violation on the Crusaders. Make it a 7-5 score. A lot of action outdoors, a perfect day to be outside in Gaston County as that serve is buried into the net. 8-5 the score. Baseball and softball playing right now against Lenore-Rhine. Don't have any scores for you. Baseball just starting with their first pitch at 4 o'clock. Schaefer to serve to Freitas. The pass to Fund. The swing taken from up the middle by Serviat. He gets the kill. The lead is trimmed to 8-6. As that will bring back Wes Rogman to serve. A freshman out of Plainfield, Illinois. Henry Schwung doing a lot of recruiting in the Chicagoland area. Has brought some fruit back to the Banner Elk area. R.D. Nixon with the swing, covered by Freitas. Sobel gets that one, but Liam Maxwell with the dig. The Crusaders are going to have to get to work as they'll get that ball over with Nixon. To the near side. That ball is going to be killed by Rogman as he is able to go up. The Crusaders thought they might have gone back to the far side, did not do that. The Bobcats have trimmed the lead to 1 at 8-7. As you would imagine, with a 4 o'clock start this afternoon to accommodate the wrestling team who's playing tonight at 7:30 with Durkes taking the swing. The crowd a little sparse, folks still getting out of class. Sobel has tied it up at 8-8 as Lees-McRae has rattled off 8 straight of their own. Or I should say 6 straight of their own to tie it up at 8 apiece. Boehner to Sullivan. Sullivan, 10-foot line to Maxwell. Maxwell finds the gap. The Crusaders retake the lead at 9-8 with Robert Nixon back to serve. Robert Nixon, second on the team with 28 kills, 2.15 kills per set. Nixon, that's going to be a service ace as Nixon put a lot of torque on it. Bobcats not able to return it over. It's going to make it a 10-8 score. So the Crusaders now have stretched it back out to 2. Down the line to Sobel. Fun, back to Sobel. Sobel. Nixon tried to dig it out, but he could only take it about 6 rows back. The point will go to the Bobcats as Radishevsky not able to cover. Sobel back to serve at 10-9. Maxwell takes it off the block of Fund. Fund will take it to the far side. That ball's going to hit the tape and get down. I don't think they're going to give credit for a block there. We'll have to see, but the Crusaders go back up by 2 at 11-9 with Aaron Durkees to serve. Durkees to Freitas. Fund takes it to the outside. A changeup hit by Mark Shaka. It's able to get down in front of the back row players for the Crusaders. It's 11-10. Back to serve will be Hector Serviat. Serviat with the serve. Sullivan with the quick set to Boehner. It was blocked by Fund. They went with the quick set. Boehner saw the adjustment made by the blockers, but it was of no avail as Fund came over on the double, got the block, and we're tied at 11. Serviat serves it from the far side. It goes just beyond the line. The Crusaders have the 12-11 advantage. As back to serve will be Bryce Sullivan. Sullivan, the freshman out of Middletown, New Jersey, by way of Red Bank Catholic. Gets the serve, shuffles forward over to Sobel. That pass tight to Fund, and Fund doing basically a little improvisation. He gets the kill as he essentially just kind of backhanded it over with the backside of his hand. Ties things up at 12. Fund will be back to serve. Sullivan to Durkees. Durkees hits a changeup, a beautiful play, and it was almost equaled by Lees-McRae. Boehner with the swing, covered by Freitas. They'll try it again, this time with Schaefer. Schaefer has it blocked by Mark Shaka, and Lees-McRae goes back on top at 13-12. Mark Shaka with the solo block off the swing from Gavin Schaefer, taking it off the body of Sullivan. Nixon. Sullivan comes near side, and that's another block as it's out of bounds this time, as Wes Rogman couldn't quite find the angle. It's tied at a baker's dozen as Liam Maxwell goes back to serve. Maxwell tried to cut it cross court, puts it into the net. A 14-13 lead for the Bobcats. It's going back to serve will be Shaka. I would imagine that this is probably going to be the tenor of the match the rest of the way. These two clubs pretty evenly matched. Dakeman with the dig. Maxwell puts it back in the center of the floor. RD gets it over. Fund takes it far side to Sobel. Sobel hit that pretty much about 12 feet from the net as he put it just a couple of feet behind the 10-foot line as Lees-McRae goes back on top by a pair. Shaka to Diekman. From the 10-foot line, Maxwell has that covered by Freitas. Sobel will free it over. Now the Crusaders can go on the attack. And Boehner has it go off the block of a couple Lees-McRae players. And Robert Nixon took advantage as he took it off the block of Wes Rogman. Makes it a 15-14 score. It's going back to serve will be Brennan Boehner. So glad that you could join us this afternoon on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Boehner over to Freitas. They'll go far side to Sobel. Sobel, they're going to say it gets down. Sobel paints the line, takes the lead back to 2 as Diekman will be back to serve for his second rotation. Lees-McRae wearing the gold uniforms, the gold jerseys as he puts it into the net with the green shorts. The gold stripes are on the sides of both the shorts and the jerseys as Gavin Schaefer goes back to serve down a point. And he puts it into the tape. The lead back to 2 at 17-15. Wes Rogman back to serve. This is a relatively young club, Shaker and Freitas, seniors on the club along with Sobel. But after that, you've got all freshmen except for Serviat, who's a sophomore. They're able to get that over. The 10-foot swing taken, dug out by Maxwell. Sullivan tried on the second ball that was a little tight. That's a good play there. And Aaron Durkees, who had an opportunity there on the exchange, couldn't get the swing to go down. The lead is 18-15 in favor of the Bobcats. With that, Sean Manzi takes a timeout. We'll take it with him on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Gaston County is a great place to raise a family. The benefits of the Charlotte Metro blended with the familiarity of several bedroom communities make Gaston a wonderful place to become a first-time home buyer. But in a shifting market, it's paramount to find a company that will work even harder for you in a very competitive landscape. Might I suggest to you Moss Realty? Moss Realty wants to serve you as an advocate through the home buying process. I've seen the hard work of the staff on a personal level. The attention to detail and their knowledge of Gaston County is top-notch. Moss Realty can help you make a pleasure out of life's biggest purchase. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. Moss Realty can turn dream home searching into dream home living. That number one more time, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty. Back here inside the Wheeler Center, Lees-McRae has opened up the gap a little bit. 18-15 is what they lead in the first set. Lees-McRae with a .250 attack percentage. The Crusaders have not been able to really generate much offense at all, as they're at a negative 0.43 in this opening set. As that ball hits the tape, a good timeout called there by Sean Manzi. Kind of shuts down the momentum a little bit as Robert Nixon goes back to serve with the Crusaders down a pair. Nixon will toss it high from the far side, down the line to Sobel. Sobel will have to adjust on the swing, and he'll go off the block of Aaron Durkees, the lead back to 3 at 19-16. Back to serve will be Sobel. John Sobel slides forward, serves it to Boehner. That pass tight. That's a great job of anticipation there by RD, but now Lees-McRae with the free ball, and that's a good play. Fund found Hector Serviat almost immediately on the short set. Serviat was able to bury it into the floor, and Lees-McRae has their largest lead so far the set at 20-16. Lees-McRae making the trip about a 2-hour drive down. Earlier this week, they had some snowfall in the area, and now they're back to almost 60 degrees for their high temperature. Serviat with the exchange with Durkees. They'll go to Maxwell. Maxwell has that covered by Rogman. Now the swing, it's going to hit something. It's going to be a double contact. They'll call it on Fund. The lead to 20-17 as Aaron Durkees back to serve. Do have a baseball update for you. We'll try to get to that here in just a little bit. Durkees to Freitas. The swing to the outside. It's going to go over the line, out of bounds. Point to the Crusaders at 20-18 as Shaka couldn't find the corner. Colin Rosenbaum in the first inning hits a Rosenbaum. The Crusaders take the 1-0 lead. Durkees couldn't get it cleanly enough. The point goes to Lees-McRae on the service error, 21-18. We'll have a substitution for Lees-McRae as Chris Woolslayer, a 6'1 freshman out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, will go back to serve in place of Hector Serviat. Woolslayer top spins it to Radishevsky. The swing from Maxwell is going to go over my head, out of bounds. The point to the Crusaders. My spot here on press row, the block by Rogman, almost put it up into the balcony area beyond me. It's Freitas going to try to help out Sobel. That's going to go into the net, and the Crusaders take advantage, and they now trail by a single point at 21-20. Shaka has that dug out by Durkees. They'll go outside to Maxwell, and Maxwell splits the defense as they put it between Fund and Diekman, and he's tied it up at 21. We talk about Liam Maxwell. This freshman's a young man that has a lot of promise for this club. The freshman from Manahawkin, New Jersey. Sobel. Now, Sobel started out behind the 10-foot line, but by the time he actually contacted the volleyball, he was about 5 feet from the net. That was an extraordinarily athletic play as Lees-McRae takes the 1-point advantage. Sullivan to Durkees. They'll free it over to Freitas. Fund, far side. Shaka goes cross court. Durkees with the recovery. RD from the 10-foot line, inside outs at the point to the Bobcats. 23-21, a critical stage, as with these two clubs on the floor, both really desperate for a conference win, the team to get the first set's going to have a dramatic advantage in this one for the rest of the way. Maxwell back to serve as it goes into the net. 23-22 in favor of the Bobcats. Crusaders with the side out. Top spin to Freitas. Inside out swing there, covered by Diekman. The point will give a set point opportunity to the Lees-McRae Bobcats. Sobel gets it dug out by Maxwell. It goes off the block, out of bounds. The point to the Crusaders as they avoid the one set point. Now Brennan Boehner back to serve, down a single. Boehner tosses it up, sends it over to Freitas. Fund near side to Rogman. He's going to take that outside, and we're all even at 24. So the Crusaders dodge a couple set points and now have themselves an opportunity with this side out to potentially get one of their own. Boehner sends it over. Sobel, not a good pass there. It's going to be freed over. Sobel will have to do it. Now the Crusaders can attack. Out to Durkees. That's covered. Maxwell gets it over. Schaefer, that's going to go off of Fund. They'll keep it alive. Sullivan to Nixon. That's going to go off the block, out of bounds. And now the Crusaders have a set point themselves. And the head coach for Lees-McRae, Henry Swung, is going to have a conversation with the down official. And we're ready for set point. The Crusaders have the 1-point advantage, 25-24 up. Boehner sends it over to Freitas. Fund, far side to Sobel. And Gavin Schaefer, the ambassador, gets the Crusaders on the board as they lead by a set, 26-24. We'll be back on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours, without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improve.
Gaston County is a great place to raise a family. The benefits of the Charlotte Metro blended with the familiarity of several bedroom communities make Gaston a wonderful place to become a first-time homebuyer. But in a shifting market, it's paramount to find a company that will work even harder for you in a very competitive landscape. Might I suggest to you Moss Realty? Moss Realty wants to serve you as an advocate through the home buying process. I've seen the hard work of the staff on a personal level. The attention to detail and their knowledge of Gaston County is top-notch. Moss Realty can help you make a pleasure out of life's biggest purchase. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. Moss Realty can turn dream home searching into dream home living. That number one more time, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty. Back here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network, the Crusaders with the 26-24 win in set number one as they avoided 2 set points at 24-22. They were able to rattle off 4 straight to get the first set win here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Folks, don't forget, immediately following every broadcast on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network, we'll have the Ortho Carolina postgame show. So we'll take a look at all the numbers. We'll tell you what they mean. We'll try to have an interview with the head coach of the Crusaders, Sean Manzi. That may or may not happen tonight, as we'll immediately go into transition mode for setting up the floor from volleyball on the men's side to wrestling coming up at 7:30. A lot of moving parts to make that happen, so we'll just have to see how much time we have available. But I do want to thank Dr. Ron-John Matra, who has served 16 years with the athletics department here at Belmont Abbey College and offering his expertise to all the athletes here for the Belmont Abbey Sports Network and the Belmont Abbey College Athletics Department. Also want to thank Blair Primus for his service to the Belmont Abbey Sports Network, as we want to thank Ortho Carolina for excellence in orthopedics. There's only one name to remember, Ortho Carolina. You improved. Lees-McRae will begin the second set with service, wearing the gold jerseys and the green shorts. They'll serve from right to left here in the second set. Last update that I have from baseball, after 2 innings, 1-0 in favor of the Abbey. Colin Rosenbaum hits his first homer of the season, and it could be a big year for Rosie as the Crusaders shortstop makes it 1-0 in favor of the Abbey. That service goes long. The Crusaders have the 1-0 lead in set number 2 as Bryce Sullivan will go back to serve up in set number 2. Fund goes far side to Shaka. Sullivan with the dig. Maxwell will get it over to Schaefer. Now we'll see if Lees-McRae can get the attack. Sobel punches it over. Radishevsky can't get there. It wasn't the best deke in all the world, but they were able to get it to count as they tie it up at 1 apiece. Sobel gets the kill. That sends Mark Shaka back to serve. Crusaders really up their attack percentage as they were down in the negative 60s. That ball is going to be freed over by the Bobcats. Well, Sobel's able to take a swing and get it in the corner. That was an amazing play from Mark Shaka. I thought very simply he was going to have to just try to get it in the general area of an attacking player. Well, he set Sobel up perfectly, and Sobel, having to catch the pass from over his shoulder, hammered it into the corner, getting the point for the Bobcats. Nixon from the 10-foot line has that covered. Fund gets it to Sobel. They'll dink it over. Sullivan far side to Maxwell, takes it off the block, and it's tied at 2. He took it off at Diekman, and it's a 2-2 ball game here in set number 2 with Maxwell back to serve. Here in just a little bit, I'll give you an email address. You can send me an email if you're watching today's volleyball broadcast. Sobel is going to put that in off the bounce. Radishevsky tried to dig it, but it hit the floor almost immediately, giving the Bobcats a 3-2 lead with Diekman back to serve. Boehner is going to have that dug out on the block. Shaka has that go off of Rogman. Rogman with the swing. Boehner gets the block, ties it at 3. Top of the third inning, it's 1-1 as Lenore Ryan hits a solo shot. Try to get you exactly who here in just a little bit as Boehner puts the serve into the net, 4-3 score. We'll give you those periodically. I don't have anything from softball this afternoon as Rogman goes back to serve. We do know that we will have a second broadcast tonight on the network as wrestling takes on Newberry. Sullivan to Durkees. Didn't get all of it cleanly. Now Fund to Serviat. Goes out of bounds. And they're going to call a net violation on the Crusaders, making it a 5-3 lead for the Bobcats. Not quite sure who the guilty party was in that. And wasn't given a clear indication as Rogman serves. Sullivan to Durkees, pokes it over to Rogman. Here come the Bobcats. Second ball from Fund, covered cleanly. Durkees goes outside to Nixon. Nixon puts it into the net, a 3-point advantage for the Bobcats. Just an absolute gorgeous day in the Piedmont of North Carolina. I tried to get Sean Manzi to move the match to the sand volleyball area out by the quad. He did not want to do that. I don't really blame him. As Serviat gets the block, the lead up to 7-3. I will say the weather would have been perfect for sand volleyball this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 70s, not a lot of wind, plenty of sunshine. Rogman out to Maxwell. Sullivan gets it to Nixon. That's a good play, and he puts it on the line. 7-4 the score. Gavin Schaefer back to serve. Nixon couldn't have been any more precise with that one. 3-point advantage for the Bobcats. The Crusaders trying to climb back into set number 2. Out to Freitas. Fun to Serviat. That hits the tape. I don't think there's going to be a block there, but the Crusaders really don't care. It's 7-5. They get 1 point closer. Schaefer slides forward, sends it across to Shaka. Sobel takes something off of it. Now Sullivan will go 10-foot to Boehner and is going to put that one into the floor off the double-sided block. The Crusaders get back to within 1 at 7-6. Schaefer puts it into the net. The lead stretches back to 2 at 8-6. And that'll send Sobel back to serve for the Bobcats. Sobel hits it firmly to Boehner. Now Sullivan to Maxwell, takes it off the block of Shaka. 8-7 the score. Back to serve will be Robert Nixon. If you want to send me an email, let me know that you're tuning in. Brian Rushing at bac.edu. Nixon back to serve. Brian Rushing, BRIAN, RUSHING, as that serve goes wide at bac.edu. The Serviat back to serve, 9-7 Bobcats. Crusaders got the opener. Top spin to Ratajkowski. Sullivan to Maxwell. Maxwell sends it a little long. The lead stretches back to, no, it's not. They're going to call it off the contact. The chair official got some help from the far side linesman, and now it's 9-8 in favor of the Crusaders. Aaron Durkees back to serve. Durkees holds it out. Top spins it over to Sobel. Now Fund. 10-foot to Sobel, dug out by Sobel. Shaka takes it cross court, splits the gap between Nixon and Durkees. 10-8 the score. Rito Fund, the 6'3 freshman out of Moulins, Switzerland, back to serve. Nixon, Sullivan, outside to Maxwell. That's dug out by Sobel. They'll go to Sobel on the 10-foot line, covered there by Freitas. Now to the near side, Shaka gets it over the tape, and it's going to go off the contact. I believe Bryce Sullivan was the one that got a piece of it. 11-8 the score in favor of the Bobcats. Sullivan goes to Maxwell. Maxwell with the changeup, covered by Fund. Freitas puts it a little tight into the net. Shaka couldn't make the adjustment. Bryce Sullivan with the block kill. He'll go back to serve with the Crusaders down a pair. Sullivan knuckles it over to Freitas. Fund outside to Rogman. And Rogman buries it off the foot of a Belmont Abbey player. making it 12-9. Shaka with the jump serve. Sullivan quickly to Boehner. Boehner swings it out of bounds. 13-9 the score. Both clubs doing a lot of counterpunching in the first set, and it looks like the narrative not much different here as that serve just goes a little bit beyond the end line. Point to the Crusaders, 13-10. Maxwell back to serve. Maxwell will toss it high, send it over to Freitas. Sobel has that dug out by Ratajkowski. Sullivan now to Maxwell, and he took that a little long. They're asking for the touch, not going to get it. So it's 14-10 with Diekman back to serve. Nixon, Sullivan returns it to Nixon. He gets it off the block. They're going to keep it alive as Diekman got a really good dig there. Boehner decides to take it. It's going to go over the net. Ratajkowski, Johnny on the spot there. And R.D. Nixon took about as tight an angle as you could, couldn't get it to go, and the lead is now at 15-10. Nixon didn't miss it by much, but made it a very difficult play as that service in the net. 15-11 the score. Brennan Boehner, who got the points for the Crusaders to wrap up the first set. Boehner top spins it over, and that's going to be a service ace for the Crusaders. Boehner to Freitas, just a little long. The point goes to Lees-McRae. Rogman back to serve at 16-12. Bobcats ahead. And he didn't hit that one well at all. Crusaders get the gift point, 16-13 the score. It's Gavin Schaefer back to serve. With the left hand, goes to Shaka. Outside Sobel, and that was a miscommunication there. Apparently the wrong play call set up by Henry Schwung's gang as Funds set the ball up. Serviat was there too early, and the ball never got to Sobel as Schaefer puts it into the net. 17-14 the score. Sobel back to serve. Sullivan to Nixon, misses wide, cross court. The point goes to Lees-McRae. Belmont Abbey wants a timeout. We'll take it with them. 18-14 the lead in favor of the Bobcats in set number 2. We'll be right back.
With Domino's Piece of the Pie rewards, you earn a free medium 2-topping pizza after just 6 online orders of $10 or more. Need some reasons to order? Throw a half birthday party for your husband.
Happy 36 and a half.
Or your cat. Or get in touch with your vegetarian side.
Hold the pepperoni.
But we think free pizza's reason enough. Start earning points toward free pizza with our $5.99 mix and match deal at Domino's.com today. Rewards program is open only to U.S. residents 13 and older with a pizza profile account. Only one order per day earns points. Complete details at Domino's.com/rewards. You must select this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
Looking for up-to-the-minute scores of your favorite Crusader sports? www.abbeyathletics.com. Feature content, including coaches' interviews. www.abbeyathletics.com. Crusaders broadcast on demand. That's right, www.abbeyathletics.com. Your online source for all things Crusaders can be found in one place, www.abbeyathletics.com. Back here inside the Wheeler Center. Crusaders have the set advantage, but Lees-McRae, like they did in the first set, have the 4-point advantage. They stretch their lead to as many as 4, I think at 23-19 at one point. So the Crusaders had to rally in that first set to get the 26-24 first set win. Sobel serves it over. Maxwell. Durkees pops it over. Serviat. Now to Shaka. That's blocked by Sullivan. They'll get a second opportunity on the attack. Rogman to Durkees. Ratajczewski to Nixon. Nixon takes it off the block. Sullivan keeps it alive. That's going to go off the hands of Fund, and we'll see what happens here with this one. Boehner to Freitas. Lots of action here. So go near side. Shaka off the block of Sullivan. He'll get the point. 19-14 the lead. The largest lead of any set for Bobcats volleyball this evening. The second set is statistically shaping up like most of the first set did. Sullivan gets it to Rogman. Rogman's able to dig it out. Shaka, they'll keep that alive off the foot. Goes into the second row. The Crusaders get the point. They trail by 4 with Nixon to serve. You see a lot of low attack percentages, and they've not been sterling at all. You're going to see longer rallies. That ball's going to go catch the tape. Freitas didn't think it had any chance of getting down. It did. The Crusaders with another service ace. They have 3 on the evening, trim the lead to 19-16. RD puts it into the net, gives the point right back. And that'll send Hector Serviat back to the service line. The sophomore out of Miami, Florida, by way of Southwest High School. Serviat tops it over. Ratajczewski. Far side to Maxwell. Maxwell cuts it. Rogman keeps it alive. Fund off the second ball. Boehner keeps it alive. It's going to go off the tape to Rogman. Fund will return it to Rogman. Rogman cuts it. Durkees is going to get the block, and the Crusaders are going to get the point. Really good action there for the Crusaders. Aaron Durkees back to serve. Durkees tosses it high. Gets it over but wide. The point back to Lees-McRae at 21-17. As Rito Fund back to serve. Maxwell is going to get the return and take it off the block of Shaka, kept alive by Fund. They'll 10-foot it over to Sobel. Sobel, I don't know what happened there, as Robert Nixon froze in his footsteps as if he wasn't expecting the ball to head his way, or that maybe it knuckled. But it's 22-17. Boehner tries to go off of Rogman. Rogman has other ideas. He puts it off of Boehner in retaliation. 23-17 the score. So it looks like the Bobcats are poised to even things up here at 1-1. Sullivan to Schaefer. Schaefer plays it back to Sobel. Rogman gets the block. I believe Liam Maxwell is going to get the solo there. The Crusaders stop the momentum for the moment. Bryce Sullivan going to have to put together a run with the Crusaders down 5. Fund to Diekman. Ratajczewski tried to take it inside the antenna. It happened, but he didn't keep it in play at set point for the Bobcats. Back to serve will be Mark Shaka. Jump serve firmly to Ratajczewski. They'll go to Maxwell. Maxwell off the block. They're going to give it to Sobel. And that's going to wrap up the first set, 25-18, as we're all even here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We'll be right back. Conference Carolinas, competition amongst 10 colleges and universities across North and South Carolina, as well as Tennessee. Over 3,000 student athletes competing at the highest level of NCAA Division II athletics, with annual selections to postseason play. Conference Carolinas is dedicated to student athletes not only succeeding on the field, but in the classroom and after graduation. Keep up with us at conferencecarolinas.com. Be sure to follow us at CONF Carolinas on our various social media platforms. Want to get the most out of your next getaway or business trip? Get over to Belmont, North Carolina, and feel the Hamptonality. At the Hampton Inn Charlotte Belmont at Moncross, we give you friendly service at a great value. You'll rest easy on our clean and fresh Hampton bed. The crisp white linens and duvet give a fresh start to every guest each morning. Every morning begins with our free hot breakfast, including delicious waffles and hearty oatmeal. And with free Wi-Fi, you're guaranteed to stay connected. We're conveniently located just 8 miles from the center of Charlotte, 7 miles from the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and just 1 mile from Belmont Abbey College. Book your stay by visiting Hampton.com or by calling 704-825-6100. Again, that's Hampton.com or calling 704-825-6100. Feel the Hamptonality at the preferred hotel for Crusaders Athletics, the Hampton Inn Charlotte Belmont at Moncross. Gaston County is a great place to raise a family. The benefits of the Charlotte Metro blended with the familiarity of several bedroom communities make Gaston a wonderful place to become a first-time home buyer. But in a shifting market, it's paramount to find a company that will work even harder for you in a very competitive landscape. Might I suggest to you Moss Realty? Moss Realty wants to serve you as an advocate through the home buying process. I've seen the hard work of the staff on a personal level. The attention to detail and their knowledge of Gaston County is top-notch. Moss Realty can help you make a pleasure out of life's biggest purchase. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. Moss Realty can turn dream home searching into dream home living. That number one more time, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty. Back here inside the Wheeler Center, tied at 1 set apiece on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. So it looks like baseball 2-1 in favor of LR in the top of the 4th inning. That's the score that I'm getting unofficially. Inside the Wheeler Center, the Crusaders win set number 1 26-24. They lose 25-18. And set number 2, they'll serve to begin set number 3. Want to say hello to Kelly Durkee's hanging out in the San Jose, California area. Certainly talking a little bit about baseball. San Jose home to the San Jose Giants, California League baseball team. Spent a little time studying the California League here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Want to say hello to Kelly and everyone in the San Jose area. So I definitely want to touch base about something that Kelly let me know. Unfortunately, it looks like it's about 58 degrees there and a little bit of rain. Kelly, I got to be honest with you. It's really nice here in the Piedmont of North Carolina, which I've stated already is Sobel. For Lees-McRae, John Sobel gets the kill. They take the quick lead, 1-0. A happy belated 21st birthday to Aaron. Aaron comes to us as a transfer from Chico State. That's a service ace for the Bobcats. They lead 2-0. Aaron celebrated that 21st birthday on Monday. So Aaron, not listening to me right now, of course. Happy birthday to you. Kelly, thank you so much for tuning in to the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. As we started this one up today at around 1 o'clock Pacific time. Schaefer gets the kill there for the Crusaders. It's 2-1 here in set number 3. Liam Maxwell back to serve. Maxwell covered by Shaka. Fund to Rogman. Radishevsky with the dig. Maxwell right down the middle from 10 feet out. Evens it up at 2. Maxwell showing his ability to not only get up high and get enough clearance for the 10-foot set, but is able to turn it down with a lot of pace. Freitas with the dig. They'll go to Shaka off the block of Boehner. Lees-McRae takes the 3-2 lead with Shaka back to serve. Folks, if you want to be like Kelly Durkee's and let me know where you're tuning in this afternoon, wherever you are, Brian Rushing at bac.edu. Radishevsky to Sullivan. Now Nixon. Nixon puts it off the foot of Fund. And that was a lot of fun for Nixon as he ties it up at 3 apiece. As Boehner will be back to serve here in set number 3. Shaka gets it over to Diekman. Diekman's going to be able to get it off the block on the back line. Nobody able to recover it. 4-3 in favor of the Bobcats with Diekman back to serve. Spell it one more time, BRIAN RUSHING at BAC.edu. Boehner, Sullivan, Nixon. Nixon splits the double team on a pass that was not ideal. He was able to improvise and make the play, and it's four-piece with Schaefer back to serve. Pass to Sobel. Sobel hammers it. Gets a lot of pace, just couldn't quite get it to settle. The Crusaders have the 5-4 lead and set number 3. Sobel, far side. He was able to adjust his feet and still put a ton of pace on it. The score 5-5 is Rogman back to serve. He'll toss it high, sends it across. Maxwell. The swing from Boehner, covered by Serviat, I believe. Nixon will get his opportunity. Takes it off of Rogman's arm. The Crusaders taking the lead back at 6-5. So Robert Nixon, the senior out of Chester, Virginia, will go back to serve. He puts it into the net. We're all even at 6. Sobel back to serve for the Lees-McRae Bobcats. He'll toss it high. Radishevsky. Durkee went one-on-one with Serviat. Serviat got the better of that one when the Bobcats regained the lead at 7-6. And that's going to be a service ace for Sobel, making it 8-6. Crusaders not able to get that first ball pass to Sullivan, and now trailed by a pair of points. Maxwell to Sullivan, gets the return off the block of Fund. They'll try it again. Boehner goes down the line to Rogman. Rogman can't clean it up. It's 8-7 in favor of the Bobcats. The Crusaders will have the side out, but Aaron Durkee's back to serve. Slides it over to Sobel. Fund gets it over, but Durkee's with the cover. Nixon, they'll try it again, and now they're going to call, I believe, a lift. They will call it a lift on Durkee's. The chair official saw Durkee's get a little bit too much finger on it as he basically kind of tried to flip it high enough for coverage. Serviat back to serve. As Robert Nixon's going to go over and have a conversation with the up official. Basically, the up official just let Nixon know, yeah, he tried to lift it cleanly, but was not able to get it as he turned the palm up and sort of got it with the fingers rolling up on it. Serviat. Sullivan to Schaefer. Schaefer can't get the point for the Crusaders. The lead stretched to 3 for Lees-McRae. Serviat goes high. Radishevsky to Sullivan. Maxwell. Maxwell didn't get on top of it, pushed it out. The point to the Bobcats. They lead by 4. Sullivan. Maxwell. Maxwell finds the gap. Gets the point for the Abbey. It's 11-8. Sobel to Freitas. The pass out to Shaka. Shaka tried to go with the tight angle, couldn't make it work. 11-9 in favor of the Bobcats. Rogman. Sullivan over to Nixon. Back to Rogman. The pass to Fund. 10-foot set to Sobel. And Sobel just about knocked down Radishevsky. The score now 12-9. Rito Fund back to serve. Sean Manzi having a conversation with the down official. But now we'll go back to work. Service error for Lees-McRae makes it 12-10 with Maxwell back to serve. Swing taken there by Shaka, goes wide. Now the score 12-11 in favor of the Bobcats, but the Crusaders 1 point away from knotting this one up. So the Bobcats able to take it back to 2 points up at 13-11. Shaka with the serve into the net. The Crusaders back to within one at 13-12. Brennan Boehner back to serve. Gets it to Freitas. Now Fund outside to Sobel. And Sobel's really turning things up for the Bobcats. 14-12's the lead. Diekman back to serve. Sobel starting to really take control in this contest. He had 10 kills going into the set as Nixon is going to take it off the block and get it down. 14-13 the score with Schaefer back to serve. You take a look at John Sobel. He is the top attacking player for the Bobcats. Nixon tries to go cross court, go off the hands, the point to the Crusaders, and we're tied at 14. And Rogman, Wes Rogman thinks that there's a service in favor of the Bobcats. Trying to see if I can pick up the conversation in front of me. That's not going to happen. Schaefer back to serve at 14 all. Shaka. They'll go to Rogman. Rogman, RD. Robert Nixon puts it off of Rogman on the block. It's 15-14 in favor of the Abbey. Good play there from RD going one-on-one with Rogman. Schaefer. That pass is tight. Durkee's hit the tape with it. Wished he had it to do all over again. If he just avoids the tape, it's down easily. He hits the tape and it pushes it out. That makes it 15-15 as Rogman back to serve. That serve goes long. Crusaders back in front, 16-15. Nixon gets it over, and that's a service ace as he put it in front of Sobel. And Sobel couldn't make the adjustment. The lead back to 2 for the Crusaders at 17-15. Shaka. Sobel. As it looked like a triple team there, Sullivan, Maxwell, and Durkees. I believe Durkees was in the middle. I think he gets the block as Woolslayer will check into the contest in place of Shaka, but the Crusaders now have the 18-15 lead. Nixon with a chance to serve. Puts it into the net. And that little bit of hesitation might have been able to just be enough to throw off the rhythm of Robert Nixon. As we're an hour into this contest, essentially. Sobel back to serve. Nixon with the back row set. Freitas covers it. Woolslayer tries to find the corner. Now Ratajkowski gets it to Boehner. They'll try it again. Serviat on the swing, and they're going to call a double contact on Sullivan. Sullivan tried to make the set by working around Ratajkowski, was not able to do so. He gets called for the double. It's 18-17 in favor of the Crusaders. They'll go to Maxwell. Maxwell high off the block to Freitas. Serviat. Ratajkowski. Now Maxwell. Maxwell goes off the block of Fund. The Crusaders go back on top by 2. And Aaron Durkee's back to serve. Durkee's, who kind of goes side saddle on the service, holds it out and looks at it. Well, had done that. Now it's changed his form. He'll just slide forward and serve it. Fun. Tried to go on the second ball. Sullivan will get some help from Nixon. They'll free it over. Serviat takes it off the tape. Got enough of it to get down. 19-18 the score. And Hector Serviat back to serve. Nixon. Maxwell. Maxwell winds up hard. Gets it off the block of Diekman. It goes out of bounds. The Crusaders go up a pair with Sullivan to serve. Down the line, Woolslayer catches the line. 20-19 the score. Sullivan, Nixon puts it in front of Sobel. The Crusaders have the 2-point advantage. In what looks like could very easily be a pivotal third set here in this contest. Maxwell will toss it high to Freitas. Outside, Rogman tried to go cross court to the corner, couldn't find it. It's 22-19. Henry Schwung wants the timeout. We'll take it with him. It's the Crusaders lead, and set number 3. We'll be right back.
You order Domino's Pizza, and your pizza parade begins. Marching bands dressed as pizza slices play. Tigers eating pizza roar. And then someone rains on your pizza parade.
I want salad instead.
So Domino's is introducing salads. Now you get pizza, they can get salad, and the pizza parade is saved. Order a medium 2-topping pizza and a delicious Domino's salad for only $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Looking for up-to-the-minute scores of your favorite Crusader sports? www.abbeyathletics.com. Feature content, including coaches' interviews. www.abbeyathletics.com. Crusaders broadcast on demand. That's right. www.abbeyathletics.com. Your online source for all things Crusaders can be found in one place. www.abbeyathletics.com. Back here inside the Wheeler Center, it's the Crusaders with the 22-19 advantage. Here in set number 3, we're tied at a set apiece. Liam Maxwell back to serve with a 3-point advantage. Crusaders get this set, and they're 1 set away from the first match win of the year. Maxwell, that could have been a double. No call. Fund to Freitas. They'll go 10-row set to Sobel, who hits it long. And Henry Schwung probably feels like he got the short end there. And William Tachi The assistant coach for Lees-McRae got up and tried to have a conversation with the down official, and he was immediately summoned back to his chair. Cross court to Wolfslayer. Boehner hits it hard off of Freitas. And Wolfslayer, who had gone back to attack, it hit the rafters right beside of him, having no idea. And the Crusaders have a set point. Outside to Rogland. Rogland has it blocked by the Ambassador, and that's set number 3. The Crusaders respond. They lead 2-1. We'll be back on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours, without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improve.
Just off the 485 loop, just minutes from the Belmont Abbey campus, is a place where the golf is thrilling and the food is a treat for the palate. Pine Island Country Club. General Manager Matt Zavanet and his staff have created a golf and social experience that is unique to the Charlotte Metro. The golf course is one of the best conditioned and aesthetically pleasing courses in the region. The knowledgeable and friendly staff are on the ready to help you look and play your best. The club pool offers you the chance to spend the day with family, enjoying the warmth of summer with friends. If you are in the mood for an evening of dinner and conversation, then Pine Island Country Club is your spot. Prepare to be treated to an elegant evening at the place you belong, the approachably private Pine Island Country Club. Call Matt Zavanet to schedule your tour by calling 704-394-1422. That's 704-394-1422. Pine Island Country Club. Back here inside the Wheeler Center, the Crusaders have the 2-1 advantage over Lees-McRae. Lees-McRae will begin the 4th set with service. Folks, don't forget, immediately following every broadcast on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network, we'll have the Ortho Carolina postgame show. So Crusaders hopefully can continue the momentum that they built in set number 3, get this 4-set win, and then we can tell you all about the happy numbers here in about 20 minutes from now. As it stands at this point, the Crusaders still have a little work to do. Let's take a look at some of the 3rd set numbers. The Crusaders did a really good job, a .391 attack percentage in set number 3, and they neutralized the Lees-McRae attack. Lees-McRae had 8 kills, 8 errors on 24 total attacks. The Crusaders held them to a goose egg while they hit almost 400, and that's going to get it done most nights as they have the 2-1 lead here inside the Wheeler Center. Aaliyah Maxwell has double figures in kills already. Robert Nixon 1 away from the double, as the Crusaders had 2 players in double figures kills the last time out that the Crusaders were inside the Wheeler Center. Fund on the service. Boehner splits Freitas and Sobel. And the Crusaders draw first blood here in set number 4 with Bryce Sullivan back to serve. Floats it over to Freitas. Fund goes back row set to Sobel. The Crusaders with an opportunity here to get out ahead. Maxwell That's saved by Freitas. They'll free it over to Schaefer. Sullivan to Boehner. Oh, that's a beautiful play. As Boehner's able to make the midair adjustment, the Crusaders have the 2-0 lead. And that's one of the things that Boehner does really well. He's pretty athletic. He's able to get high at the apex of his jump and is able to almost examine what's going on as he's about to make the attack. That service goes into the net. 2-1 lead for the Abbey. It's Mark Shaka back to serve for the Bobcats. Crusaders looking for win number 1 on the year. Get 1 point closer as they lead 3-1. The service error from Shaka will send Liam Maxwell back to the service line. Unofficial score from softball. Lenore Ryan beats Belmont Abbey in the first game 6-5. Sobel misses on the wide side. 4-1 lead for the Abbey. And the Crusaders would love to build some momentum going in through this fourth set and go ahead and finish things up here. Maxwell to Freitas. Fund to Dakeman. Dakeman sends it a touch long, and it's 5-1 quickly in favor of the Abbey. Maxwell crosses it over to Shaka. Fund will bump it to Rogman. Covered there by the Crusaders. Radishevsky to Schaefer. Schaefer has that blocked. Rogman is going to joust with Nixon. That's going to go off of Rogman. The Crusaders still looking to get the point. Sullivan. Now Maxwell. Freitas. So go to Dakeman. Dakeman hits that one a little long, and the Crusaders have built themselves a little bit of a cushion. They lead 6-1 here in set number 4. Crusaders have run 4 straight. The swing from Sobel on the outside. That's his 15th kill, which is a game high for anybody. 6-2 in favor of the Abbey here in set 4 as Dakeman back to serve. Robert Nixon gets the kill. Got a little help on that one. 7-2, the lead for the Abbey. Brennan Boehner back to serve. So that's going to hit the tape barely. And the point goes to the Bobcats. Wes Rogman back to serve. As soon as we're done here, we'll take a little bit of a break after the postgame show. We'll bring you 7:30 wrestling between Newberry and the Crusaders. Sullivan to Schaefer. Schaefer turns on it and puts it inside the line. As that was vintage Gavin Schaefer there, as he just turns his shoulders to the far sideline and goes cross court with it, getting the hammer to fall. 8-3 lead for the Abbey. Sobel. Not a whole lot anybody's going to do with that. As Sobel absolutely torqued that one to the floor. 8-4 the lead in favor of the Crusaders. But Sobel doing some acrobatics, some aeronautics, if you will. Radishevsky's pass too tight. The lead trimmed to 3 at 8-5 in favor of the Crusaders. The Sobel kid can play a little bit, make no mistake about it. Serve covered by Radishevsky. They'll go to the middle, 10-foot swing to Boehner. Freitas covers that one. Rogman, now Boehner. Sullivan, they'll go back to a 10-row set to Maxwell, and Maxwell's able to tuck it just inside the line. The Crusaders go back up 4. It's RD back to serve for the Crusaders. Sobel pushes it a little too far. And the Crusaders have doubled up the Bobcats 10-5 here in the fourth. That's going to be a service ace for RD as he twisted it around Sobel's comfort area. We'll have a substitution as Woolslayer in for Sobel. The Crusaders up a half dozen once again. That service goes into the net. 11-6 the score. Serviat back to serve. Sullivan takes the second ball. Rogman with the dig. Woolslayer gets it over. Maxwell takes it off the block, and the Crusaders get the point. 12-6. Aaron Durkees goes back to serve. Covered by Robert Nixon. Sullivan sends the pass to Maxwell. Maxwell's going to get the kill, and the Crusaders are starting to feel it. They're up 7. I believe getting some unofficial numbers. Aaron Durkee's back to serve. He'll slide forward, hit the knuckler to Woolslayer. They'll go far side. That's a good play there. Mark Shaka with the kill on a good pass from Rito Fund. Fund will be back to serve. 13-7 the score. Lenore Ryan goes up 5-1 in the 6th with a 3-run jack. The Crusaders find themselves in some trouble. As Brennan Boehner gets the kill. The Crusaders volleyball team not so much, as they're starting to play at a pretty good clip here, leading 14-7 in set number 4. They get this set and it's over. Unofficially, softball lost game 1. I think that they've lost game 2. Their day has come to a close. Brennan Boehner with the block. Freitas will try again with Rogman. He'll take something off of it to Sullivan. Ratajewski to Schaefer. It's going to be covered by Lees-McRae. Shaka goes with something off speed. Now Nixon puts it into the tape. The point to Bobcats. The Bobcats trail 14-8. Sobel was going to go in, but Shaka now back to serve. Still time at Abbey Yard for the Crusaders to mount a comeback. Boehner's going to get the kill. 15-8 the score. Maxwell back to serve. Maxwell tosses it high to Shaka. They'll free it over. Rogman does. Ratajewski to Maxwell off the block, and I believe that's going to be Diekman with the block, making it 15-9. Diekman will go back to serve for the Bobcats. A soft floater, and Maxwell's the only one that can get there and can do nothing with it. The service ace for the Bobcats trims the lead to 5 at 15-10. Near side to Schaefer. Schaefer went down the line with it. Diekman basically just trying to cover his dome, make sure he doesn't get hit in the head with it. It's 16-10. Good swing from Schaefer. Boehner back to serve. Rogman tried to push it, couldn't do so. Now the Crusaders up by 7. It looks like Sean Manzi's crew is poised for this 4-set win. They just have to close the deal. Serviat has that covered by Boehner. Rogman has it covered by Maxwell. They'll go to Schaefer. Schaefer takes something off of it. It's tight. Durkees, they'll play on. Boehner over to Nixon. Nixon covered by Fund, and they're going to call a net violation on the Bobcats. Freitas is the only one that I can see near the net. It's 18-10 as Sobel back into the matchup in place of Woolslayer. Boehner flips it over. Fund to Serviat. Serviat gets it just into the corner. 18-11 the score. Rogman back to serve for the Bobcats. Sullivan, Schaefer. Schaefer couldn't quite get in front of it, sends it out of bounds. It's 18-12. When Schaefer's able to catch the ball in front of his shoulder, his left shoulder, when he swings, he gets a lot more turn on the volleyball. That one was a little more up top. Was not able to get that one down. Nixon sends that one down off of Rogman. The Crusaders get the point. 19-12 the lead. So we'll have a substitution coming in for the Crusaders. Austin Quinn in for Gavin Schaefer. For Sean Manzi, this is a deliberate move. He wants Quinn to come in a slightly better server, I would think. It's the swing from Sobel on the outside. It doesn't matter who's serving that. That is power. 19-13 as Sobel goes back to serve. The Crusaders with the fourth set advantage. Sobel slides forward to Boehner. Durkee takes it off the block. Freitas with the cover. Rogman has that blocked by Durkee. They'll try it again. Fund on the second ball. Now the back row set. Maxwell gets some help. Durkee gets it over, and they cannot do that. It's Nixon trying to plead his case, saying that he went outside the antenna to cover. The chair official not having it. 19-14 the score, and I think the chair official got it right. He came under the net, inside the antenna. If he goes outside, different ball game. In effect, the antenna, in an imaginary sort of way, runs down to the floor. You just don't want the antenna there for safety reasons. Serviat has that dug out by Maxwell. Nixon gets another opportunity. That's covered by Freitas. The pass, Shaka, change up to Ratajkowski. They'll back row set. Boehner pushes it over and will play on. Shaka gets it off the block of Durkee's. And the Lees-McRae Bobcats trying to make the fourth set close at 19-15. And Sean Manzi wants to take a timeout. We'll take it with him. The Crusaders lead in this fourth set, 19-15. Up 2-1. We'll be back on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Gaston County is a great place to raise a family. The benefits of the Charlotte Metro blended with the familiarity of several bedroom communities make Gaston a wonderful place to become a first-time home buyer. But in a shifting market, it's paramount to find a company that will work even harder for you in a very competitive landscape. Might I suggest to you Moss Realty? Moss Realty wants to serve you as an advocate through the home buying process. I've seen the hard work of the staff on a personal level. The attention to detail and their knowledge of Gaston County is top-notch. Moss Realty can help you make a pleasure out of life's biggest purchase. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. Moss Realty can turn dream home searching into dream home living. That number one more time, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty. Back here inside the Wheeler Center with Sam McMonigle running the camera this afternoon. Brian Rushing here with you this evening. Crusaders trying to close up shop here in set number 4. John Sobel back to serve. That ball's going to go toward the press row. Sullivan with a good play gets it back to Boehner. Lees-McRae can go on the attack, and Serviat does that. And it's now a 3-point ball game in set number 4. The Bobcats need to get this set to take it to 5. The Crusaders trying to close the deal. Maxwell, the pass to Durkees. Durkees is able to find the floor. 20-16 the score. And Robert Nixon, I think, is the one back to serve. Is Nixon back there? Toss it high, send it across. Freitas. Back row set to Sobel. And Sobel is really turning it on. Sobel's got 18 kills in the contest. That's a big night. Serviat back for the Bobcats. A 3-point advantage for the Abbey. Ratajkowski to Maxwell, gets it over. Now Lees-McRae can trim the lead. Shaka didn't get any contact and pushed it wide. The Crusaders avoid some trouble there. They lead 21-17. And it's those types of plays right there that could very easily mean the difference in a win or a loss for the Crusaders in this 4-set match. Durkee slides forward. That's a pivotal play. Diekman gets the kill. That's a 2-point swing there that would have made this essentially a 21-20 ball game. Instead of where we are now, 21-18. Maxwell's going to take that off the block of Rogman, and now it's 22-18. Schaefer will be back in for Austin Quinn. Bryce Sullivan back to serve. Floats it over. Freitas to Fund. Far side to Shaka. Off of Maxwell. And we're at 22-19. And I'm not quite sure what the confusion was about. I saw it off the block immediately. But the Lees-McRae bench erupted as if the call had gone the way of the Abbey. Ratajkowski to Sullivan. Boehner takes it off the block of Rogman and Diekman. The Crusaders are 2 points away from closing up shop here inside the Wheeler Center. Liam Maxwell back to serve. 2 points away from raising the red inside the Wheeler Center. The pass outside. Sobel takes it off of Schaefer. Schaefer tried to do a little bit of a juggling act. Hit it about 16 times. That's not legal. The point will go to Lees-McRae at 23-20. Diekman to Nixon. Nixon gets the return off of 3 players. As that basically played pinball of Serviat, Rogman, and I believe Sobel. As it's match point here inside the Wheeler Center for Brennan Boehner. The service goes long, pushing back what hopes to be the inevitable very soon for the Abbey. Rogman back to serve at match point. Match point number 2 for the Crusaders. Rogman takes something off of it to Maxwell. They'll go to Schaefer. Schaefer is able to top it down on top of the paint. He finishes it up. The Crusaders win the matchup 3-1. When we come back, we'll have the Ortho Carolina postgame show as the Crusaders raise the red this evening on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We'll be right back. Want to get the most out of your next getaway or business trip? Get over to Belmont, North Carolina, and feel the Hamptonality. At the Hampton Inn Charlotte Belmont at Moncross, we give you friendly service at a great value. You'll rest easy on our clean and fresh Hampton bed. The crisp white linens and duvet give a fresh start to every guest each morning. Every morning begins with our free hot breakfast, including delicious waffles and hearty oatmeal. And with free Wi-Fi, you're guaranteed to stay connected. We're conveniently located just 8 miles from the center of Charlotte, 7 miles from the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and just 1 mile from Belmont Abbey College. Book your stay by visiting Hampton.com or by calling 704-825-6100. Again, that's Hampton.com or calling 704-825-6100. Feel the Hamptonality at the preferred hotel for Crusaders athletics, the Hampton Inn Charlotte Belmont at Moncross.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours, without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improve.
Just off the 485 loop, minutes from Center City, is a place where the golf is thrilling and the food is a treat for the palate. Pine Island Country Club. Matt Zavanet and his staff have created a golfing and social experience that is unique to the Charlotte Metro. The golf course is one of the best conditioned, aesthetically pleasing courses in the region. The knowledgeable and friendly staff are on the ready to help you play and look your best. The club pool offers a chance to spend the day with family, enjoying the warmth of summer and laughter with friends. If you're in the mood for a night of dinner and conversation, then Pine Island is your spot. Prepare to be treated to an elegant evening at the place you belong, the approachably private Pine Island Country Club. Call Matt Zavanet to schedule your tour by calling 704-394-1422. That's 704-394-1422. Pine Island Country Club. Looking for the latest scores of your favorite Crusaders teams? www.abbeyathletics.com. Feature content such as coaches' interviews. www.abbeyathletics.com. Looking for the brand new Crusaders Corner? You got it. www.abbeyathletics.com. For stats, standings, stories, and more, there's only one place in cyberspace when it comes to your Crusaders. That place, www.abbeyathletics.com. Conference Carolinas, competition amongst 10 colleges and universities across North and South Carolina as well as Tennessee. Over 3,000 student athletes competing at the highest level of NCAA Division II athletics with annual selections to postseason play. Conference Carolinas is dedicated to student athletes not only succeeding on the field, but in the classroom and after graduation. Keep up with us at conferencecarolinas.com and be sure to follow us at CONF Carolinas on our various social media platforms. Hi folks, Brian Rushing here. Earlier this year, my wife and I went looking for our dream home. You know, the perfect place to have family and friends over, sharing life together, and ultimately growing old together. You might be in the same boat that we were in. With interest rates at seriously low levels, my question for you is, why haven't you taken the step to home ownership? If you're still looking for the right agent, let me suggest to you Moss Realty. They have an unbelievable inventory at mossrealty.com, and the personal service is second to none. When I called 865-5555, Don Mott made it his personal objective to make sure that we would find our dream home. Folks, Moss Realty turns dream home searching into dream home living. Call them up, 704-865-5555, or go online to mossrealty.com. Moss Realty, turning dream home searching into dream home living. And we're back here inside the Wheeler Center. The Ortho Carolina postgame show was on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network as the Crusaders raised the red this afternoon by a 3-1 score against the Lees-McRae Bobcats. Brian Rushing back with you. Want to thank all the folks at Ortho Carolina for their continued support of the Crusaders. Folks, don't forget, for excellence in orthopedics, there's only one name to remember, Ortho Carolina. You improve. That includes Dr. Ron John Matra for his day-to-day efforts with the athletes here at Belmont Abbey College, and then, of course, Blair Primus, who has helped us so much on the network to get these broadcasts to you and have the support of Ortho Carolina throughout the years here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. You take a look at some of the happy numbers for the Crusaders. This was an opportunity where the Crusaders offense had a chance to really get some momentum. They were able to really do some things, and there was a definite flow to the offense that we hadn't really seen to this level so far this season. A great confidence lifter for this Crusaders club as they really took care of business in the third and fourth sets. They hit 391 on the attack side in set number 3. Set number 4 was all the better as they hit it 400. 17 kills and 35 attacks with just 3 errors on the attack. That was a major number, just continuing to put pressure on Lees-McRae. Lees-McRae was unable to answer the bell as the Crusaders got a convincing third set win at 25-19, then wrapped things up 25-21 in that decisive fourth set for the Crusaders. You take a look at some of the individual numbers for the Crusaders. Robert Nixon had 13 kills. Liam Maxwell had 14. Bryce Sullivan had 37 assists. You take a look at the digs. David Radishevsky had 9 digs. Liam Maxwell had 7 digs. Maxwell had a really solid day overall as he had this afternoon the 7 digs to go along with the 14 kills. There were 5 service aces for the Crusaders. Robert Nixon had 4 of them to go with the 13 kills that he had on the night. A really solid effort by both Nixon and Maxwell. Gavin Schaefer getting into the mix as well as the Crusaders really took care of business. Aaron Durkee's also in that attack mode for the Crusaders, getting the 4-set win. We come back on the other side of this Ortho Carolina post-game timeout. We'll try to get a brief word with the head coach, Sean Manzi, as the Crusaders raise the red this afternoon, 3-1 on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours, without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improve.
Gaston County is a great place to raise a family. The benefits of the Charlotte Metro blended with the familiarity of several bedroom communities make Gaston a wonderful place to become a first-time homebuyer. But in a shifting market, it's paramount to find a company that will work even harder for you in a very competitive landscape. Might I suggest to you Moss Realty? Moss Realty wants to serve you as an advocate through the home buying process. I've seen the hard work of the staff on a personal level. The attention to detail and their knowledge of Gaston County is top-notch. Moss Realty can help you make a pleasure out of life's biggest purchase. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. Moss Realty can turn dream home searching into dream home living. That number one more time, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty. And we're back here inside the Wheelers Center. It's the Crusaders put together the happy numbers this evening, getting the 3-1 win over the Lees-McRae Bobcats back inside the Wheelers Center with head coach Sean Manzi. Coach, congratulations on the win. Certainly wrapping up this homestand with getting the win, and now you can begin to take road trips and kind of get that monkey off your back in conference play, no less, against a team that, to be quite honest with you, you're going to have to beat if you want to improve your conference positioning for the tournament. With that said, kind of give us an idea of your overall thoughts on the performance of the club today, especially from the attack side.
Well, our serve receive was mediocre today, so we weren't able to really run all our offenses. But what I thought our pin hitters did, Maxwell and Nixon, is they adjusted very well appropriately. Hats off to Lees-McRae, doubling their wins from last year already, and a very well-coached club from Coach Henry Trang. And we rose to the occasion of we knew that we needed to win. We knew that we needed to fight. And, we really were very encompassed on our game and our side of the court. I know that's kind of an old sports cliche, but that actually was a big help for our success.
Well, you take a look at the first set numbers. You guys were able to climb back into the first set, get the win, 26-14. Then there was a bit of a lull to where Lees-McRae kind of asserted themselves. They got the second set win. What sort of adjustment did you make after set two to really turn up the offensive attack? Because you guys go from really paltry numbers in the first two sets, honestly, to really hitting hyperdrive and really putting together two solid sets on the attack.
Yeah, between sets 2 and 3, our big adjustment was going for high hands or certain attacking roles rather than just going ahead and swinging away. And that really helped us when we can go for picking them apart a lot better than just hitting the ball and being very aggressive about it. I was talking with R.D. Nixon and seeing his numbers. First set, or between the first two sets, he hit minus 200. And then sets 3 and 4, he only had one more error. So he really stepped up between those sets 3 and 4, and that was a very good part on his leadership.
When you take a look at Bryce Sullivan and what he meant to this attack tonight, it's got to be a daunting task to come in as a freshman knowing that you're battling for the lead setter job and getting an opportunity to, and I would imagine, and this is probably the case, compared to what sort of sets and offenses he was running at the high school level, at the club level, this has probably been amped up a considerable amount, and therefore it's taking a different athleticism. It's taking a different discipline that he's got to have. How do you see Sullivan's development occurring right now?
He's doing a fantastic job. He came in from a really great club team in New Jersey, and he's really adjusting appropriately. There are times when he's obviously going to make first-year mistakes. But again, as we mentioned a couple nights ago or last week about Stanford being a 4-year process, same thing with our freshmen and same thing with these setters. Sullivan has done a fantastic job really not taking any guff. And I tell him the reason I recruited him was because of his attitude. And it wasn't just a passive attitude. He comes from New Jersey. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And he's not going to take any crud on the floor.
Well, certainly it was one of these nights tonight where we saw Sullivan really shine and make some sort of mid-play adjustments that maybe he hadn't been able to make so far this year, and certainly made those adjustments in such a way that it serviced Liam Maxwell, Robert Nixon, Gavin Schaefer, Aaron Durkees. Those guys seem to be in much better attack positions that they're not having to make as many mid-air adjustments. Your thoughts to that?
Yeah, he really knows his hitters very well. And one thing he does a great job of is what we call spreading the offense, where if he's running one direction, he can set it the opposite and really pull that block appropriately. So he is really big on studying film and studying the team and creating a connection with his attackers. And his attackers have done a really good job at trusting him that he'll get that ball to them. And when they do, it's going to be money.
Well, and with that said, making those sorts of adjustments, I would imagine, would be just part of the maturation process that a freshman will contend with. But also, they'll just begin to develop a better feel and will make the offense more dynamic by just the very virtue of him becoming a better setter overall.
Yep. And he's really stepped up his game since, whenever they got here in August, September, whenever. And he's really encompassed that role. Whether he's not on the court, he's off cheering. He is one of the best teammates that I've seen play.
Well, certainly It was a great learning opportunity for the Crusaders and certainly getting some fruit off the vine this evening with the 4-set win. Coach, I'm going to let you celebrate with your guys. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
This afternoon. Folks, when we come back, we'll put a bow on this afternoon and get set up for wrestling here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Pain. Pain doesn't just work 9 to 5. Pain can work round the clock, hours and hours without even thinking of taking a break. So when you're hurting, you don't want to wait for an appointment. You need relief now. Well, there is a solution. Ortho Carolina's Urgent Care can provide relief for the entire family when time is of the essence. Our after-hours clinics are conveniently located near you when you need us. Ortho Carolina's expert staff is ready to treat strains, sprains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, joint pain, and more. The next time you or a loved one is hurting on an evening or over the weekend, we'll be ready to help. It's the same state-of-the-art care, professionalism, and expertise that's made Ortho Carolina a leader in the Southeast. Pain doesn't happen when it's handy, and you shouldn't have to wait to get relief. Visit orthocarolina.com for a list of urgent care locations and hours. Ortho Carolina. You improve.
And we're back here, final segment on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network's Ortho Carolina postgame show. As you can see, the wrestling mats being laid out in preparation for tonight's 7:30 match against the Newberry College Wolves. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Again, want to thank the fine folks at Ortho Carolina for all they do. For excellence in orthopedics, there's only one name to remember, Ortho Carolina. You improve. The Crusaders with the 4-set win tonight over Lees-McRae pick up their first win of the season, close down the homestand, and most importantly, get a conference win against the Lees-McRae Bobcats, which always helps with playoff positioning in the Conference Carolina's postseason tournament coming up. Let's go ahead and set the scene for the rest of the way. It's a doubleheader night here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. We'll be with you tonight at 7:30 as the Crusaders will take on the Newberry College Wolves. We'll bring the action to you from the Wheeler Center before we put a bow on it this evening. Friday afternoon, it'll be the premiere of baseball action on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network for the 2017 season as the Newberry Wolves baseball team will come in to take on the Crusaders. That'll be a 3:45 airtime with a 4 o'clock first pitch. So with all of that said, I want to thank the Director of Athletics, Stephen Miss, for Belmont Abbey College. I want to thank Associate AD Paul Lyon, Assistant AD Justin Bates, Director of Athletic Communications Jim Steffen. I want to thank Brooks Ledger, John Fitzgerald, spread out all over the campus today. Thank you for what you do. I want to thank Dr. Trey Cunningham of the Sport Management Program for his efforts on the 2017 season here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. I want to thank our camera operator, Sam McMonigal, this afternoon, checking out the action with us. And we want to thank you for tuning in, folks, as we'll be back on the air around 7:30 this evening as the Crusaders wrestling team look to raise the red against the Newberry College Wolves. Until then, folks, this is Brian Rushing wishing you a pleasant good night. We'll see you next time on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network. Good night, everybody. Crusaders Athletics on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network has been brought to you by Pine Island Country Club, Domino's, Moss Realty, the Hampton Inn by Hilton at Montcross, and Ortho Carolina. You improve. Don't forget, your online home for all things Crusaders can be found at www.abbeyathletics.com. We thank you for tuning in. We can't wait to see you next time right here on the Belmont Abbey Sports Network.